Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be covering a up pipe. We're going to be taking out the factory up pipe. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to tell you what I went with and why I went with it. So stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and take this up pipe out. Alright, so able to take the up pipe out, you're going to have to remove the down pipe. So we're going to show you how to do that real quick. I do not have a 3-inch MBPR. I don't have any aftermarket downpipe. That's in the works. I know I should do it now since I'm already there, but I just don't have it planned for it. So we're going to show you how to do that real quick. You're going to have to move the trans dip stick a little bit. You're not going to have to remove it, just move it a little bit. Alright, so down back underneath the turbo, you're going to have your first clamp. It's going to be an 11 millimeter, so go ahead and loosen that up, and then you go down below and take the rest of it off. Again, you got yourself another 11 millimeter down at the bottom for the clamp. You got a 14 millimeter that is connected to the bracket on the manifold. Alright, so now you're just gonna basically wiggle it back and forth until it come out. You're gonna struggle with it. It's gonna be kind of a pain, but just give it time. It'll eventually wiggle its way out. So now that you're done with that pain, now I'm gonna show you what the bolts are. It's gonna be 6 total 12 millimeter 12 point bolts. So you're gonna need a 12 point socket for it. So I'm gonna show you where those are. You're gonna take those off, and you're gonna want 2 people for it. All right, so underneath here, you're gonna have one up top, one on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it at all, but then one on the back side there. Now, you're gonna wanna do the top ones first, because, well, that's the notorious ones that are first snapping. So I'm gonna show you a little something on TikTok that I did for 3 days, and you're gonna wanna do it. So right there you see the driver's side and passenger side up pipe. We're going to be doing the passenger side up pipe. We're going to take those 3 off and then move down to the bottom. So all 3 of the top out perfectly fine, and it shows how much a second set and even a third set of hands really helps when you're doing a project like this, because to keep the constant pressure on these bolts that are notorious for snapping off on top of that turbo pedestal, with 3 days of soaking with some Kroil and extra pressure from some extra help, we got them out no problem, and finished getting them out with a nice Milwaukee angled impact wrench. So if you ever do a project like this, make sure you try and get some extra hands. It's a tremendous amount of help. So now we're gonna go ahead and just get the bottom ones off. out perfectly fine, no issues at all. If you don't have one of those Milwaukee cordless impact wrenches, you gotta get them because they are awesome. You can ratchet them and send them home with the automatic. So again, if you don't have one of those, you're gonna want one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the difference and I'll tell you exactly why I changed them out from the stock to the PPE. So first impressions, this is a PPE stainless passenger side up pipe. You can see the absolute quality you get in the stainless welds. And the first thing right off the bat is that difference right there. The angle coming right out of the backside of the turbo is a little bit more raked to allow better airflow, and also the angle coming out of the exhaust manifold is not as sharp of an angle as a factory one. Now, the quality is obviously much better. You can't even compare the two. They're not. This one doesn't have anything on it, but the biggest reason people will and need to get rid of these versus doing a blocker plate, you'll have an additional small pipe that'll come up here and that will go into your EGR. Now a lot of people will put a blocker plate on that, but that's where the main common fail point is on these up pipes, is all that pressure builds up right there and will crack the bellow. Now unfortunately, my bellow cracked down here, right underneath here. I don't think you can see it. And I got an exhaust leak from them, and you can smell it in the cab. It's gross. My wife hates it. She gets lightheaded. So that's the main reason why we are doing this today. When I had Lincoln Diesel take care of my head gaskets, and I also got that 64mm turbo, I had them go ahead and cut that bellow off that goes up into the EGR. I wasn't 100% well educated in the diesel world, and it's something I shouldn't have had them do. It's a good option. It's not a terrible option. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that run it. But unfortunately, I thought that was the only failure point of that passenger side up pipe, and that's not the case. I had that lower bellow blowout, small crack, but you know, like I said, it reeked of exhaust in the cab, and just it was not fun. So go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We did not snap any bolts. You're gonna want help on this, guys. You really are. It's awesome to have the help, and you don't want to take that chance. So stay tuned for Wednesday. We're not gonna be installing the PPE Up-Pipe today. We're gonna be doing that on another day. I've got a birthday party to get to. Go ahead, follow me on Instagram, follow me newly on TikTok, like this video, subscribe to the channel. The content's not gonna slow down. So we'll see you Wednesday. Have yourselves a great day.